Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Network Merchandise Shop. Pick up your logo merchandise by heading over to abvnetwork.com, clicking on Shop, and start filling your basket today. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for something for yourself, a customized gift, or logoed items for your business gift shop, the Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. That's the number 2 in the Bar to Go. Don't forget our friends at Neely Family Distillery now ship their unique distilled spirits directly to you. To order yours, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we're going to talk about celebrity bourbons. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my special guests, Lori Mangum, Jim Bosnott, Danny Kennard, and our co-host, Steve Igley.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hey-oh. So, yeah, we've got a fun day today. We're going to be talking about celebrity bourbons. And do we believe in any of these, or are they all just marketing? So we'll get to that after the break. For right now, McNew said there's something you want to talk about. What is that, McNew?
Yeah, so I had a weird day on Tuesday. So I wanted to know, have you guys ever woke up, day was great, and then something just happens, like nothing tragic. It's actually funny after the fact, but happens around 10 a.m. You're like, fuck it, I'm just day drinking today. You ever have a day like that? And what was it?
Huh.
You know, they discourage the carrying of flasks at work, but I had one of those days on Tuesday. It would have been really nice to pull out even the worst celebrity whiskey.
Mine was also Tuesday. It's just this week.
Huh. Has anything bad happened where I just said, no? At a corporate job, it was tough. I mean, you can't really just leave. Otherwise, they get rid of you.
You would just leave every day. You know better.
I know. I got to the point where I had it down. I had, I would wait till my boss left for lunch, and then I would leave, and then I would say, I must have just been leaving when you came back. I'd take a 2-hour lunch every day. I had it down.
Nobody.
But
man.
Yeah, but you had to be there, unfortunately. So, or you had to, when I was in sales, you would set your desk up like you were still working. That's key, because in sales job, you get to walk all over the building, meet with other people, and sometimes you would just leave, but leave your computer up and running and everything. That was that. So, yeah,
I was lucky enough to be in a business where if I was having that day, I could just coordinate a single barrel tasting at the last. You know what? Let's taste out the single barrel at 10 a.m. Let's see what's going on there. So I could kind of or do an impromptu beer sampling, or let's taste the new vodka we got in, or whatever the case may be. So I can make that happen pretty much at any time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
yeah.
Mine wasn't even work related. I was actually off half of the day on Tuesday because we had an event over the weekend. And so we all flex off time to balance it out. And I was sleeping in. I had already gotten up super early to take my dog out, and then came back in, went back to sleep. I'm loving this slow morning. And then I hear her start to make that gag sound.
Oh God.
And I was like, oh dear Lord. And so I leap out of bed and it was too late. I couldn't get anything under her. She was just sick. And I'm like, unbelievable. There's no worse sound to wake up to the second time when you're trying to really rest. Dog sickness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Danny, how about you? You ever have one of those days?
Oh, yes. I did. I've called in.
Oh, yeah. Was it ever a result of a show?
It may be. I cannot confirm or deny.
So we've contributed to the delinquency of Danny Kennard. Maybe
Maybe a little.
Yeah. Huh. All right. Well, McNew, what caused you to have this situation?
Yeah, so mine was also dog related. So Tuesday morning, I get up. They're all good in the morning. They go outside. They do their thing. They eat breakfast. So I come in upstairs, log into work. 5 minutes later, I hear something going on downstairs, and like, I know, like, it's weird that I know the sound of all their toys when it's being like slammed against the floor, but I knew this wasn't one of their toys. And I'm like, Sosa is having way too much fun. So I go down there, and my husband had left out like a bottle of powder, like foot powder or something that was supposed to go in the work bag. Sosa got it open. So there's powder all over my floor, all over the furniture. Just, it looked like he got into like a bag of flour, scattered all over my house. And I'm like, that is not what I was doing today. It was
So
awful.
I assume Chris has gone to work, so that means you have to clean it up. I'm sure that this worked out well for Chris.
I thought about how spiteful I wanted to be. I'm like, I'm just going to leave it till he gets home. I have to work too. But I'm like, no, they're just going to track it more all over the house. So yeah, I cleaned it up. I wasn't happy about it. But I'm like sending him texts. I'm like, you should be grateful you bought me a Bissell, or you'd be doing this. Like, I just sent him like all the mean things I could think of that day. But I'm like, it's your fault. You know you can't leave stuff down for them. But Sosa had a party though. Like, it took me a while to find the container. And he's just like hiding behind the couch, chewing on it. Like, he's real proud of himself. And I was done. I'm like, I cleaned it up, got back into work. But I'm like, I'm going to have a drink now. Like, I just could not do the rest of the day after that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I saw that online and I thought, oh, what a mess that is. But
it was a hot mess. So I had to actually like vacuum the chair. And then I have this other, like, it was actually a carpet cleaner, but it was like the mini one that I had to use on that to get everything out of it. It was awful. All day project.
Don't you, if you have 7 pets though, aren't you kind of supposed to expect that type of stuff to happen?
Yeah, but not stuff that he causes, because he doesn't pick up after himself.
But if you would have caused it, it would have been okay. But
I know, I put my things away.
Isn't he your 8th pet? You should have taken care of that as well.
Probably. Yeah, that's on me too. Should have cleaned up after him, I guess.
Yeah, it's Christmas. I bet you they had one more in the mix. There'll be something new this Christmas, either a cat or a dog. Yeah, I guess a cat. Then they got to make it even four of each. So
I say get a ferret. Mix things up.
Ferret. Yeah.
No, no. We're not doing no more pets. No more living.
I think I'll do a GoFundMe and we'll get you one of those big turtles, McNew, that's like this big.
Those are actually so cute. There's one on TikTok named Tiptoe, and I watch him all the time.
Exactly. I like those things.
Those are actually cute.
Okay, we'll get you one of those. That'll be cool.
His name's Tiptoe. It's adorable.
Oh my gosh. I have to follow him right now.
On TikTok. There you go. Tiptoe. Follow Tiptoe, folks. All right. Well, guess what? It is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's go to Danny first. Seems like he's the most likely one to buy a celebrity bourbon.
Oh,
no.
Okay,
Well,
do tumbling
yes,
dice. That's at least related to the, yeah.
I actually did. I bought the Terry Bradshaw.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Bad move. Bad move.
I know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
no,
I think initially he was saying it was rapid aged, and then he learned that that's not a good thing. And then he was like, this isn't rapid aged at all. It's not
this is crap.
Yeah. Okay.
I put that right there with tumbling dice.
Okay. Well, what do you got here tonight?
Well, actually, I have a bottle of Wild Turkey's Lung Branch.
Okay, that's kind of a celebrity deal. That's Matthew McConaughey. Yeah.
Let's see what it sounds like.
Okay, that's really good. Really good. Really good. I'll go next. I've got a celebrity bourbon here. I have a Yellowstone, a Stephen Beam in my mind. That's the type of celebrities I like, bourbon celebrities. So here we go. Cork pop. This is a 2020 LE. Ooh.
Got that bass.
Lori, who's got the lead there? That's a tough one to call because they're not the exact same.
I like the bass sound, so I'm
okay. That means I've got the lead. You've got to live with that, Danny. That's made by neutral judge.
Sorry, Danny.
All right. Sorry, Lori, you're next. What do you got? I got the lead.
All right. I am going to stick with the celebrity theme, but I'm going to girl crush on my brothers Bond, boys, Paul Wesley, and Ian Somerhalder. It's actually the first time that I've opened my whole bottle.
Okay. Oh, there's the new lead. There's the new lead.
Yeah, that just makes
yeah. So I'm sure we'll be talking about those guys today because I think they're a little different. So I like what they're doing, but I'm not a big fan of celebrity bourbons in general. But there is one I really want though. I'll talk about that after the break. McNew, how about you? What do you got?
The one that Danny just crapped all over, that Bradshaw bourbon.
Sorry, but I don't like it.
Nothing there. Nothing.
I didn't first either. It's fine.
Nothing. Oh, she's liking it now. Okay. All right, Jim. How about you?
I've got some Henry McKenna tenure. I missed out on the celebrity thing today.
Okay. Okay. No, not enough. Not enough. Lori clearly has it. So cheers to Lori.
Lori.
Cheers.
Pop champion.
Woohoo. Cheers. Oh, my dog is excited that I won the cork pop.
You're in too.
It's your cheering section. Yeah. All right, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about celebrity bourbons. What we think of them. You've got a little bit of a preview, but we'll get really into it in a few. See you. Hello, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, and I'm excited to announce a brand new partnership with Leatherwood Distillery in Pleasant View, Tennessee. Many of you have perhaps heard of Leatherwood via our co-host on the Bourbon Daily, Kaylee Baker, who works there. Well, they're now an official sponsor of the network, and we look forward to everyone getting to know a little bit more about them. Company founder Andrew Lang brought his brewing and distilling hobby with him during his years of service as a Green Beret in the United States Army. Whether he was at his home base of Fort Campbell or during tours of duty in places like Italy or Afghanistan, Lang distilled whatever was available to him locally. We are excited about getting to know Andrew Lang and his team better via our programming and are planning a trip down there for the ABV Network crew very soon. In the meantime, check them out at leatherwooddistillery.com, where they will ship bottles directly to you, including their special Remembering 9/11 series, which is raising money for military charities. Seriously, get out there, buy some bottles, help a good cause, and let us know what you think. We're really excited about this partnership. Hello, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, and let's talk for a moment about our sponsors, the people that make this show happen. First up is our friends at Moonshine University. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification at their office in Louisville. The information I learned through lead instructor Colin Blake and their team there is something that I continue to draw upon frequently in my role at the ABV Network. It truly is the standard of establishing a benchmark of knowledge of the bourbon industry. From history to production to brands and people, it's all there. Check out their full listing of programs, including Executive Bourbon Steward certification, production classes if you're considering starting a distillery, and much more at moonshineuniversity.com. I also want to talk about Neely Family Distillery. Back in May of 2018, I met Royce Neely at Limestone Branch's Craft Bourbon Festival. It ended up not only being the start of a great friendship, I started to truly learn about what makes craft whiskey so amazing. You see, I had been a bourbon drinker for over 30 years at that point, and like many people who had been drinking bourbon a long time, I was hard-coded into thinking big bourbon was where it was at and craft was on a journey to get there. Spending time with Royce and learning the things he does to make his whiskey taste better started to really get me to appreciate how things like sweet mashing, open top fermentation, pot distillation, and the grains you are using not only makes your product taste better coming off the still, but also out of the barrel as well. I still love heritage brands and they make up a bulk of my collection. But when you find a craft distiller that is truly dedicated to the craft of distilling, you are drinking some of the best whiskey out there on the market today. That's exactly what's happening at Neely Family Distillery today. Check them out on the web at neelyfamilydistillery.com, or better yet, stop by and see them at their distillery in Sparta, Kentucky. And now, back to the show.
Saying Bourbon Daily?
Yeah.
Okay, you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
No, your name first.
My name?
You know who you are. Yeah.
Hi, this is Jason Souter.
And?
And you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Perfect.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we are discussing celebrity bourbons.
Yes, we are. So, is anybody really excited about celebrity bourbons? Is anybody? No.
I'm not. I think you're paying a premium for a name that has nothing to do with the product in general, with a few exceptions.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah. I think the worst offender has to be the Peyton Manning one, right? That Sweetens Cove.
Yes.
I mean, over $200 for the same product that Dickel sells direct, basically for like $30. I mean, that's a lot of celebrity add-on tack on there. I don't know. I'm not into that.
Yeah, that's disappointing because like you want to like Peyton Manning.
Yeah, you do want to like. I like Peyton Manning as a player. Yeah, and as a person, he seems to be a pretty genuinely good guy. But
he's won a lot for me with fantasy football. I mean, who cannot like Peyton Manning? Really?
Right.
So
it's not enough to spend $200 on that bourbon, right, Danny?
Nope. I just feel like for most of them, it's nothing more than yet another way to make money off their fan base. I don't feel if someone really cared about bourbon and was a bourbon drinker and really, was putting together a brand. And that's what I feel like what's going on with the one that you had, Lori, the Brothers Bond. I do feel like they are fans and they're trying to do things the right way. And now, talking with Jim Rutledge after they met him on our event, I like that approach to things, and they had a plan too. It's like, why do you come out with an 80 proof bourbon? Well, we're appealing. Basically, our starting point is our fans, who many of them haven't drank bourbon, and it makes sense to start low proof. But we're going to do
make it approachable
single barrels, and we're going to do barrel strength and all that stuff down the road. And I thought it was good. I thought that guy understood the business. And was good, even though I'd never heard of him. For him, celebrity, he's a bourbon celebrity to me because I never heard of him prior to this bourbon coming out.
McNew and I are like Ian Somerhalder
girls. So we're talking about Ian Somerhalder with his Brothers Bond, and I think he is doing it right. Like he actually did a lot of the blending and just wanted to make sure it was perfect. It wasn't just, hey, slap my name on a label, get me paid. Like he is truly doing it right.
Yeah.
And they're also taking the time to address, kind of bigger issues within the industry, like sustainability, like, what corn does to the earth when the earth is not taken care of as you're rotating those types of crops. And I really like their commitment to climate change and to make sure that they are thinking about how large scale agriculture and farming is done in the US, especially with bourbon. So it's like there's a strong why. They did their research. They didn't just, like you said, slap a label on something and call it a new brand. They took their time. They did it right, and they continue to do that.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Jim?
No, I'm just saying that they're distilling their own stuff, which is the vast majority of these brands are all sourced, and they're just slapping a name on it and label. And I love the fact that these guys have their own distillery, their own quality control for their grains coming through. They're doing it from start to finish, as opposed to I don't know who else is, and that other than Wild Turkey's obviously making their own stuff is not source, but it kind of has nothing to do with the distilling process, or he helped finish the taste out, I guess, and was involved in the finished product, but he's not involved in it at all, the day-to-day part of it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give him credit, like as a brand ambassador though, because a lot of people are just like, hey, drink this bourbon, but he really got into it, spent some time there, spent some time in Lawrenceburg, really just gotten involved in the community. So I want to give him some credit for just being present with it, not just filming a commercial.
I 100% agree with that. I do think he was a big part of making the product, of coming up with the finished product. So I do 100% give him credit for that. You just look with Brothers Bond that they're actually making the product.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I'll say this, and the last thing I want to talk about Brothers Bond, because it's about not just them, but other ones. But, we did have Ian come on an event with us, and he was great on the event, spent as much time. He talked to every single person on the event. He made sure that every person got a chance to talk to him. And then afterwards, he sent out a thank you note and a bottle to everyone. Just a class act. I'll say that.
Really thoughtful.
Yeah. I'll say another one that's done it right too, even though I'm not a fan. I'm not a Metallica fan. That's not my sort of music, but I will say the way they've done their bourbon, they have a master distiller, and, they initially consulted with Dave Pickerel. I think that they also have done it right. So, and again, I haven't tried the bourbon because I just, I don't know, hasn't interested me. And again, I
blackened stuff.
Yeah. Blackened. Yeah. So that's an example where celebrity you don't like keeps you away from it. It's probably decent stuff, but
when they age it, they play their music, they blast their music in the rick houses to help age the whiskey. That's kind of a big, little gimmicky thing, but that's definitely something that they're known for as well.
Yeah. McNew loves country music, and now every country music star has a bourbon, right? And I don't feel like any of them care about it. I don't feel like if you put me on a call with them, and I'll expose them in 2 minutes on how little they know about bourbon.
So they're like, let's go to MGP because I have money and I can buy a shit ton of barrels and get whatever I want. So like Florida Georgia Line did it. They actually have a pecan one that's, I'm mad to say that I like. And then Jason Aldean did like the same branding with them. And I'm just like, it's the bro country guys. Like the bro country guys are like, let me go buy some barrels and slap a label on it. Like we all know, like, yeah, they probably drink whiskey, but they're like, we only drink Jim Beam White Label because we don't know whiskey, right? Like they're just, it's just another income stream for them.
So I'll say this though, this stuff does work because I can say even myself, again, it just so happens really none of the celebrities I'm into that have celebrity bourbons. That being said, recently ZZ Top has one and it's a Texas bourbon. It's through Balcones. And also I'm interested in that. I thought the branding looks cool. It seems legit. I want to at least try it. I want to give that one the benefit of trying it. Danny, you're a Texas guy. What do you think of that bourbon coming out?
Well, Balcones is kind of hit and miss.
Yeah,
simple. I mean, they've had some good stuff, I will admit, and then
it feels like Texas is coming into its own. I mean, if we were talking even 2 years ago, Texas bourbon was just bad, but now there's some good stuff coming out of there. There's some good stuff coming out of there. They're figuring it out.
I really think it's because of the water. I mean,
water
Texas
certainly doesn't
has a horrible water source.
Yeah.
So
plain simple.
Reverse osmosis fixes anything.
No, I was gonna say I have a question with that too. So a couple years ago, like Texas bourbon, everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, this is terrible." And is it because we expected it to taste like Kentucky bourbon and it just does not? So maybe like as consumers, we adapted too. Like they probably got better.
You might be right, McNew. Maybe you're right.
We changed our expectations. So we're just like, this is Texas. It's a whole different world and it's not bad for Texas. I think
you're probably right.
But then again, as I've talked to some of the distilleries, they've turned and switched from doing their home water source to a reverse osmosis source.
That probably
that's what you got to do.
So it made the water better.
Yeah. And McNew, I like what you're saying, but I feel like if we pulled out a bottle from those whiskeys a couple of years ago and said, hey, here's what they're doing now, here's what they were doing then, I think you would still be like, oh, that was bad.
Yeah, it's probably like 50%, 75% better now. I'm sure they improved at what they're doing. But I know
Jim, you and I were in a meeting one time where one of the big guys admitted what they were cut out with was not good.
he actually bought all the old bottles off us because he thought they were so bad as well.
Oh my gosh, really?
Bought them off the shelf so that we could order new product in because it was not good. That's true story.
Wow.
That is true. I mean, he was very. I don't want to say it because I was so happy. He was just so frank. He wasn't trying to pull the wool over our eyes, and Jim opened up a bottle and said, "Here, what do you think?" He's like, "Oh, that's not our best work."
But he had great stuff with him. We took great stuff, and so they were making great stuff now, but that back then it was not good.
No.
Like I said, I mean, I am a firm believer in you have to have the right yeast and you have to have the right water source, or filter it or do something with the water so that way you get a good product.
Oh yeah. I mean, water's so important. I mean, it's a big part of bourbon. So you start with bad water, you're starting out, a couple strikes against you there. So not good. So yeah, but I don't know. If fans want to buy the stuff and their expectations are tabled, because they are probably pulling a lot of people who aren't really bourbon fans, like Ian Somerhalder talked about. Our fan base isn't bourbon fans, so they're probably creating new fans that'll change and try other things as they get into it.
I would get it all the time working on the retail side with people coming in asking for Drake's. Do you have Drake's bourbon? Do you have Bob Dylan? Like Heaven's Door to me is probably the best of the celebrity bourbons from a taste to me, but he has almost nothing to do with it. Like you can't even find an interview that he even talked about it in or anything else. It's just literally just a name on there, but I think they have some great product. for the celebrity name. But I would get asked all the time for people, not even just in bourbon, in tequila and everything else. If it's a celebrity involved in it, they would want it for that reason.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Well, there you go. There's our thoughts on celebrity bourbons. It's not going to be a trend that changes. It's sticking around. So we just have to deal with it. What we don't like is a celebrity can get something on the shelf. I feel like their name gets them that placement. And of course it takes away from other potentially, good things. So that's the downside when you have limited shelf space. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. So with that, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. We'll start with Danny. We'll do a shot of Tumbling Dice.
No,
one of his favorite pseudo celebrities. It's not really a celebrity bourbon, but of course, Tumbling Dice is a Rolling
Danny
Stone
signs
song.
off, he has to take a shot. It's the rules.
Yeah,
tonight.
you should do a shot of Tumbling Dice.
Nope.
He said hard pass.
All right. Well, Danny, where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook at Danny Kennard.
All right, Lori.
Yeah, you guys can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Spirited Curves.
All right, Jim.
Find me on Facebook at Jim Fosnut or on Instagram at FozJim, FAZZJIM.
All right, McNew.
I am on Instagram at McNew ABV.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. That's the one you got to check out because everything that we do is out there. We've got our shop out there. Maybe you want to do a little holiday shopping. Now is a great time to do that. So check us out at abvnetwork.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right, great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's chat for a moment about Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you just want to experiment on a small scale on the stove in your kitchen or try your hand at a bigger setup in the backyard, Moonshine Still Pro can help. They have different still offerings as well as accessories and even grains from Goldstone Mill to help you make whiskey on par with what you get from your favorite distillery. They can even assist with a DIY still project by supplying some of the parts you can't make yourself. Check them out at moonshinestillpro.com. At the ABV Network, we're lucky enough to have some great friends. Amongst those friends is the Goldstein family, owners of Goldstone Mill. Goldstone Mill is a full-service mill offering a variety of heritage and heirloom grains. Their unique approach of working with mills around the country allows them to offer you affordable shipping opportunities to meet the unique needs of your distillery or brewery. They will consult with you to ensure the grains you are selecting meets the unique flavor profiles you are looking for. If you are a home brewer or distiller and you're looking for the grains that your local distillery or brewery uses, Goldstone Mill is the place to look. Check them out on the web at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or shoot them an email at hello@goldstonemill.com.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.